There it is.
The final word.
Let's get it.
Let's get it.
Final word.
Go.
Let's get it.
My Vote in what?
Final.
Yeah. Final word.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
A 4-1 that feels
That
so
defense.
easy. That defense, Chris.
Let's get it.
Defense, dog.
Come on. The first
Been
word.
screaming about it. Waiting for a long time to have that.
The middle word.
The middle word.
The last, first, the last, the end.
And now it's the final word.
Copy word.
Wait a minute. Oh, did I just hear what I thought I... Oh. Wait. Don't shoot.
The final word. Hey.
Like this motherfucker don't miss.
No, he's good.
That motherfucker don't miss, man.
He's good.
In the heat of battle, he don't miss.
Go.
In the heat of controversy, he don't miss.
Silly.
Come on.
I'm tripping though how these boys still not
The
giving
final
Dallas
word.
Cowboys
The
their
final
credit,
word.
y'all.
The final word.
The
These boys
final
still ain't giving us our
word.
credit, man.
The
We
final
winning these
word.
games with a backup noodle on
The
quarterback.
final word.
The final word.
The
Defense.
final word.
The
Defense.
final word.
Defense.
Let's get it.
Feel good to finally have one.
Yeah, dude, bro. Feel real good.
What we say? Defense travels. What we was talking about? That defense.
The final
last year,
word.
the year before. Now let's need that defense. Defense wins championship. Period.
All day, dog. Win them championships, man. So yeah,
Win
man. The
games when
final
you only
word,
score
game 5
196
reactions.
yards a game.
And game 6 preparation. That's where we at, man. So we gonna be talking about Philly today. We gonna be recapping. We got it all going. How we beat the champs.
The final word.
I don't even care about beating them champs, man. Them champs are just another team to me. Let's go.
Man, they was way. If you even look at it across the board, we was better. Come
Yes.
on, man. Ain't nobody scared of no Rams.
Dog. I think we got to go to
That's
that
fine.
AFC before we
Rams.
start getting some real comp. I think we own this NFC, bro. We need to run it back up with Tampa.
word.
Oh, okay, well,
We run it back.
we gotta be Philly this. We gotta be Philly though.
With this
Man, we finna beat
philosophy.
them.
Yeah.
Okay, I hear you.
Yeah, at first I was thinking we wouldn't. Man, I checked out all that film on them boys. We finna smoke Philly, bro.
Smoke a Philly pack, huh?
Smoke. Man, where that
Final
button?
word.
The final word. I like your confidence.
The
Man, I'm dead
final
serious, bro.
word.
The
I tell you what's
final
gonna make you
word.
feel better, big. Go watch
The
game
final
1
word.
from
The
2021
final word.
and watch how Jalen was running for his
The
life.
final
And that was with a
Oh,
young
I
B.
mean,
You know what I'm
Here's
saying?
my
Man, we
thing.
finna
I
run
feel
that
you.
boy.
I'm not looking at them like they're some impenetrable team, but it's going to be a feat. It's going to be something tough. I can't just jump out there and say like, "Hey, I feel good," but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Let's get it, man. Let's go.
Yeah.
I just wanna run it up. Can we check or something?
Come on.
We've been running up on that offense, huh? We've been running up on them offenses. The defense been running it up.
I've been really in the field, let her rush, I let her feel lately.
We in the
I just
field.
wanna run it up.
The defense in the field
Don't need no
running it
deals, I
up.
make the deal. Have to take it to a
Hey,
meal
boss,
lately.
you
I
see that
just
sports
wanna
on
run
did
it
you?
up.
Didn't you?
Yeah.
What? Hold
See
on.
that
What?
doing something on you?
Wait, man. Hold on, bro.
You saying them.
Man, we gonna start the show off with that BS, man. We start the show off with
Big
that.
game James.
All
He
right,
instigated now.
I don't even know why you talking to me like that, dog.
You just gotta charge that one.
Charge it to the game. Man, I ain't got a choice. Nothing.
got him charged. Come on,
Man, how you
come
boys
on,
gonna fight me out the gate? And we finna fight out the gate.
On the hill. I understand you stand on
I
the
think you
hill.
was one of
You
the
can't
first in
stand
your
on that
video,
hill.
wasn't it? I
Man,
think
bro.
Come on,
Man, I'm finna stand all the way on my dime, bro. Man, ain't no shame. Stop.
Shame.
Stop the cap. Ain't no shame, dog.
You must be out of your goddamn mind.
Let's get it, bro. Y'all boys wanna start this off on some punching. Well, let's go then. Because we talking about Armstrong. I ain't eating no crow. Why would I?
I mean, you said I ain't said that, man. Doing Armstrong, I need to see more.
No, I didn't say that.
What
It's-
else?
okay,
do
hold
you
on.
just-
Hold on. Let's
I
be
ain't believing
clear.
it.
What did I
said
actually
James
say? Let's start with that.
You said I ain't believing it. You said I still ain't believing it about him yet. That's what
No,
you
I
said.
didn't say that.
What you say?
What did I say? Law.
I thought you did. I thought you
say?
did say you need to see a little bit more now.
He
How
said
much
he need to
more?
see more.
Look, man.
This is what I
done
said.
ate all of that crow on
See-
Dorrance Armstrong. Get a
See,
piece of it.
y'all want
Come
me
on,
to
get a
eat
piece
crow
of it,
on
man.
stuff I ain't even say, bro. Why would I eat crow? All right, so listen.
What'd you say,
This is.
boss?
Let's talk about it, and I'm willing to bet. Can we bet some money on what I said?
No, I ain't
owe you
doing
some
the
crap.
bet.
Oh, okay. Ain't nobody want to bet no money on what I said.
No, I don't.
Okay,
I'm
so
gonna go
let's.
back-
All right, so
Go back
so
and rewind the tape. bro.
okay, we
I
can
gotta go back
rewind
and
the tape.
Rewind the tape.
And I
Rewind
will,
the
I
tape.
will go get it. I ain't gonna
In
do
the
it right
chat,
now,
get it.
but I will
Chat,
go
chat,
get
let
it.
'em know.
I would have to cut it up. I ain't got time to
'Cause I
cut all
remember
that
you said
tape
you
and
gotta
find the
see more.
evidence. But I
remember
want to
you
bet.
saying you gotta see more. Go ahead.
No, this is
You
what
said
I
I need to
said.
see more.
Can I say what I said, bro?
Okay.
Because I can
ahead.
tell you how the whole thing unfolded with Armstrong. For everybody that's coming in trying to figure out why we fighting already. These boys want me to eat crow on stuff I did not say, and I'm not doing it. So first of all, let's
okay.
talk about what I said. The OC came in and he was making the case for Dorrance Armstrong play. And I was
So was
agreeing.
I.
Yeah, and I was agreeing with everything until he said one thing. He said, because I don't care what nobody say, sacks are sacks, and then I hit this. And I was like, no, they not. Sacks are not sacks. Now, I was like, I agree with everything else that you said. He balling, yes, he playing good, yes, he turning up, but no, sacks are not sacks. And then it started getting twisted as if I was saying he not balling, and that is the fact. Because I kept saying that he was playing good. I also said that he was playing good from the 3-tech more than he was playing from the outside. And the only knock that I had on him was the quality of sacks was not the best. Because when he won against tight ends, and then he won on the inside. That's what I said.
So
and
how
I'm
you
still
calling,
right.
So if you saying that, but you calling DeMarcus Lawrence's sacks ain't sacks, but you saying he going against tight ends, but he went against a rookie tackle because he got hella pressures, but still he only got one sack game and multiple sack game, and that was against a rookie. Rookie.
The top tackle in the draft, dog. Let's say it how it really is, bro. Look, I see.
That 50.
Oh, see, ain't nobody bet me on what I said though. See, listen.
Look,
Don't say it. All
those
sacks are
receipts.
not equal. Exactly.
I'm gonna.
That's
win
what
that
I
50.
said. Why would I eat crow? And that's a fact.
50.
Okay, let me ask both
know.
of you a question. I'm gonna start
They
with
going to
you,
get
Law.
them receipts.
I'm
They going to get them
I'm
receipts.
gonna win that 50 though, boss.
No, you're not. You gonna lose.
Yes, I am.
I'm
No,
gonna
not.
I'm gonna win that 50 on them 12 sacks. Yes, I am. With Tank. Yes, I am.
Bet you don't.
All right, so let me ask you a question real quick. I'm gonna ask you a question. So I'm gonna start with you, Law. All right. You know I gotta put my boy on the hot seat. So let me ask you a question. Is Armstrong sacks, 6 sacks from last year, equal to Randy Gregory's?
Is Armstrong production level? Is that what you're saying? Like his 6 sacks last season, what Randy Gregory got is equivalent to what Dorrance Armstrong is doing now?
No. I'm saying last year, the quality of sacks, both of them got 6 sacks. Who had the better quality? That's what
Oh,
I'm
you talking
asking.
about last year? The quality of sacks was all Randy Gregory. He had the interception. He had a hell of a year.
Yeah,
for
I'm
this
saying
year,
quality of sacks. I'm saying one thing, the quality.
put it like this. Look, call me crazy and call me out of my mind. But up until this year, we 5 games in, Dorrance Armstrong production up until this year, up until 5 games this year, is more than what Randy Gregory did all of last year.
So are you saying this? I want to be clear on this. I want to be clear on this. Are you saying for the same dollars, if you could pay the same dollars for both, if you could pay the same dollars for both, you say I got off law.
I know what you're gonna do.
Wait a minute.
I know what you're gonna
What
do.
he trying to do? What are you trying to say?
Listen, because I already knew I was finna get you, Law.
That
was too easy, so I had to turn it to.
He gonna get you, Law.
Let me
I'ma get you, Law.
Let me say this again. Dorrance Armstrong level of production now is better than levels of production is more of an impact and better than what Randy Gregory did all of last year.
Who the better player?
Randy Gregory.
Dorrance Armstrong right now is a better player.
Naturally.
Right now.
See, don't do that, boss. Boss, don't do that, because you can do that with some other players, and then you won't jump on that comparison. So don't really go there. But I totally agree with what you're saying. Randy Gregory is the overall natural better player in my opinion.
Easily.
But if look at the production,
he's more athletic.
Law.
And
go ahead.
He's
better.
more athletic. He's more athletic, naturally better. But if we're talking about the production, because we've been waiting, Law. Remember when we was at Cowboys camp and we've been waiting for Dorrance Armstrong? Remember we was at camp and we was like, we believe Dorrance Armstrong Jr. can take that leap. And he didn't take it in 2019. Remember? We talked about in 20, he didn't take that leap. But he's not naturally the better player. But if we're talking about the production of what he's bringing, what Law is saying, yes, it's better than Randy Gregory because he's got special teams in there. He's blocked punts. He's blocked kicks.
There you go.
He did it last year, and he's doing it again this year. So when you take the whole facet of what he's doing, yes, he's doing better than what Randy Gregory has done.
Yeah. Now that
And
I can agree with. I can
boss,
agree with that. What he's doing on special teams is special.
Let me raise you on one.
Okay.
Who is a better linebacker, Luke Kuechly or Sean Lee?
Luke.
Be careful.
Ooh.
Be careful what you
Careful
say.
for what? Look.
Be careful.
Luke Kuechly better, bro. That is
why. And why is he better? If
for a lot of reasons.
Injuries, if we take injuries off,
Luke Kuechly was still better.
Sure.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Without
I don't know about that.
What? Who the hell y'all been watching?
I don't know about that. Boss. No,
bro, are you out your mind? Do you remember what Luke Kuechly did to us?
You remember what
Sean Lee did when he was healthy? The only thing that ever stopped him was health.
Boys is smoking that big crack.
No.
What?
No time press. That's why that button didn't work.
Man, wait a minute.
No.
Wait, we're talking about Luke Kuechly. Luke is the only person. Luke is the only person that could diagnose like Sean Lee, but was better.
How?
On everything. Ball skills, playmaking, leadership, hitting, anticipation, all of it.
He had 5 interceptions one year. You remember what he did to Peyton Manning?
Yeah, like Sean Lee. Like, now Sean Lee was a dog. But listen, y'all man, bro, what? I thought you didn't drink Kool-Aid, Big. You drinking the...
Don't do that. Y'all see, I'm drinking Kool-Aid on Sean Lee.
What?
I would drink Kool-Aid on Sean Lee.
You taking Sean Lee over young Luke?
I'm not saying...
I'm talking about removing health.
That's they neck and neck. They right
You can't remove health.
Hold up, boss.
If
boss,
you could.
Remember.
If you could.
You remember when Kuechly and Lee were playing at the same time, they were saying they were both the same players, but Sean Lee is injured. That was across the board. Everybody was saying that.
Yeah, now I could say Sean Lee had some Luke Kuechly type of games, like when he almost had
19 tackle game against
19 tackle games. Like that was Luke Kuechly-ish.
He had multiple 15 type.
Yeah, like Sean Lee would deliver some crazy good games. They really almost won A1B when you talking about anticipation. You know what I mean?
Right.
Diagnosing, leadership, snuffing out, and getting the ball. When they was both young, you really talking about 1A, 1A, 1B, 1B. But I'm going with
That's
Luke.
what we talking about. But the only reason why you give the edge to Luke Kuechly because of health.
Yeah, and
he
you
was on
gotta
the field a
give
little
him
bit
that.
longer.
Yeah,
So,
But that's the health. But the skills was almost damn near the same.
man.
So what I'm trying to say,
I would say Luke
Kool-Aid,
Kuechly. I would say
dog.
Luke Kuechly was a better athlete than Sean Lee. I'll say that.
Yeah.
I'll say that, boss.
Yeah, and
Luke
because he
Kuechly
was a better athlete,
than
then
Sean
you
Lee.
got to go with him too, dog.
He was a better athlete. I will say that he was a better athlete than Sean
Because
Lee.
both of them was the same in terms of diagnosing. They was the same, bro.
Diagnosing, smarts. They was
Yeah,
in
intelligence.
that film
Yeah,
room.
bro. I agree.
would say he had the ability. He had the you give him the edge over health and athletic ability.
so what the reason why I mentioned that
Okay,
is because the best ability is availability.
right.
And right now, Randy Gregory is not even available for the Denver Broncos. So
Yeah.
that's why I said, even with less money, Dorrance Armstrong right now, he's just a better player because he's available to play.
Yeah.
And he's not missing any days off the field. That's what I was trying to get at with
And
my
I can't-
analogy.
and I ain't
But of
gonna
course,
never-
they're probably been too far-fetched, Sean Lee versus Luke Kuechly.
No,
but
no.
you guys get what I'm saying, though.
Yeah, that's a good point. And this is what I'm never gonna do. I'm never gonna fight you when you right, big dog. Because I ain't trying to debate just to debate. You feel me? You right on that. And from that point, I want to stop by then just giving a shout out to my boy Armstrong, right? Because we started out on a debate, but the only reason why we having a debate is because this dude balling.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So on that,
There you go.
yeah,
There you go. Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, you know, shout out to Armstrong, bro, and
right.
you know, everybody know I've been lobbying for Fowler over him, but he made it harder this week, right? When you responsible for 9 points before Cooper Rush ever touched the ball, bro,
Right.
bro, I made him my player of the week over Michael Parsons, which is crazy. Hey man, appreciate the super chat, bro. Let me read this super chat real quick. I think it's a crazy one though, man, but my boy gave $19 to say this, so I'm gonna go ahead and read it real quick. My boy Bob Hicks said something crazy. He said Armstrong is better player due to flexibility as well. Okay, yeah, he said durability. I can't fight that. And he isn't an idiot unlike Randy. All right, I agree with the first 2 points except the third point. I'm with you on the first 2 points. I actually agree with you on that. Appreciate the super chat. At first I was finna smash you, but after read it, it was actually you actually on point with it. My bad, big dog. Yeah, big.
Shout the ball, man.
So check this out. I want to throw this at y'all. Then we go talk about them Rams because I know that's what everybody want to talk about. Then we go talk about
Everybody
Philly.
scared of no Rams.
No doubt. But check this out. Can we have this conversation? Fowler is a better pass rusher than Dorrance.
He is.
Yeah, that Fowler got that bend a little bit,
He
man.
is.
He got
We know
yeah,
it. That's why he
yeah.
was the high draft pick, and that's why. I mean, let's keep it real. We saw the draft, right? We see the player.
Yeah.
We're not. We
Yeah.
you know, Law, Boss. Y'all played the game. You know, I played it. Y'all played on a high level. So when we see the from afar, you can tell that's why Dante Fowler was a number 3 pick in the draft, and that's why Dorrance
you can
Armstrong
see
Jr. dropped to the 4th round. I think because of athletic ability, and plus probably the scheme that Kansas was in that year, because he went from like a 12-sack season his junior year and then dropped down, and they were saying it was more the scheme. But you can just tell the athletic ability, the natural ability from Fowler is better. But when you see the way Dorrance Armstrong Jr., I'll just love the way he's competing. I think that's what I'm giving Dorrance Armstrong Jr. the credit. He's competing.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't rest on his laurels from last year. That's why I'm giving him a lot of props. He didn't rest on what he did last year. He got a contract. He didn't sit there and say, okay, I'm on the team now. I'm doing. No, he came even harder. And I love the way he's just playing, man. He's bringing a certain kind of energy to this defense. And like you said, he's versatile. He can play on the edge. He can play. He can drop in a little bit of coverage. You can play him in special teams. You can play him in multiple positions. And I think that's what you really love about Dorrance Armstrong Jr. right now. He's not just in one place. And I think that's what Dan Quinn loves about him, is that he's so damn flexible. And I mean, he may not have the ability like the Randy Gregory or the Dante Fowler, but he's fitting like it's like a puzzle. And you got every piece has a certain thing that you go into a puzzle. And I think Dan Quinn said that when he came on the team last year. And he is a piece of the puzzle, and he's a great piece right now.
Law, check this out. I want to get your thoughts on this comment. He said, "Boss, I would stand on the table and say Fowler should be starting."
It really don't matter. It really everybody
but
gonna
you
get
know
their
what?
heat. Everybody gonna get their
here's
heat.
my thing. Dorrance Armstrong has earned it. Remember when we talked about Boss? You said Fowler needs to get more snaps, and he has. If you looked at his trajectory and if you looked at his snaps has come up each game. It was steady in that Rams game. But the thing is, some people can say, Tony Pollard should be starting. He ran for 100 yards. He ran for 86. He did that. But you still see Ezekiel Elliott is still the cog, and you see if you continue to mesh Tony Pollard in it, it's going to be a great thing. So I think keep it the way it is, because the way Fowler is coming in, it's a great thing. You started on Dorrance Armstrong Jr., let it get his tick, and the next thing you know, the guys get a little tired, then you bring in a Dante Fowler, and then he's wearing that defense down. So I like how they're doing. I like how Dan Quinn is mixing and matching. He looks at matchups. I think he goes with hot hands too. If you're a hot hand and you're blowing up that line of scrimmage, you're going to get some more tick, and you might have to sit down for a few plays. I'm going to let this guy's doing it because he's hot. And I think Dan Quinn gets the temperature of how that defense is rolling and how he goes with the substitution. And I like how he's doing.
Let me fight you back just a little bit though. All right.
Okay.
Because and this is the thing on this impactful thing. I think Fowler, for the reps that he get, is the most impactful. You know what I'm saying? He is the most impactful. I think Armstrong, from especially the last 3 games, is more impactful on the inside. So I want to kind of go back and forth with you on that. Even over the hot hand, and I feel you on the hot hand. If I'm looking at the hot hand from this week, that would be Armstrong. If I'm looking at the past games, all of them, to me, Fowler should be starting to get in the conversation to be our starter. That's just me in terms of him being a natural pass rusher. Natural and disruptor, period. And my boy Anthony Terrell say, show my boy Sam Williams some love. Sam Williams need to pick it up a little bit.
Been doing. But you know what? Sam Williams, he's not doing good in the pass rushing, but here's the thing. This one I'm going to say, you know, with Law and Boss, we watched him in college, right? This is what I said. He got a lot of those sacks, and you did the tape on him too, Law. He got a lot of those sacks, but they weren't like quality sacks. He got easy sacks. He was going against guys where he got some easy sacks. So I think his sack numbers were kind of bloated because he didn't have a lot of pass rush moves. But a lot of time, what we did say, though, he could be good in the run game because of that size, right? He's a big boy. And when you watch him, he's got to get better at rushing the passer, but he's starting to anchor that edge, right? He's fighting those guys on that edge. Those tackles, he's handling them boys. Like, he's holding his point of attack, and he's getting up in there. So
yeah, he growing.
A lot of pass rush moves, but
he's getting up in there.
He's growing, y'all.
Yeah.
He's growing. He's growing. I like his growth.
Yeah, and the best thing happened to him, and I'm not saying this for far as like, okay, it's good for someone to get hurt, but when Basham got hurt, that kind of moved him up on the totem pole.
True.
And now you get to see more of him. He's still green. Yes, he in college got a sack against Evan Neal. Yes, he got a sack against Charles Cross, made him turn into Chris Cross. Yes, we've seen those type of things. Now we're seeing glimpse of it, like, hey, he was right there. In that 4.4 speed, we can see it. But he's like, you remember back in the days, Boss, and Big Game James, you ever played Mario and Luigi?
Of course.
And Luigi couldn't stop like Mario because his feet kept moving, right? That's kind of like what Sam Williams, if I can use an analogy. You know, it's hard for him to stop because he just keep moving. But once he get that under his belt, man, we got us a specialized weapon out of him.
Yeah, man, I'm excited for what we're seeing in the year one, Sam. And the debates, I like what they talking about. These chats talking about the defensive end. It's interesting. Somebody said Randy and Fowler, same guy. Not a lot of sacks, but a lot of pressures. I think he's right.
Oh, I thought he was talking about like off field. Yeah.
No. Play.
On field.
Yeah. I put it like this. We got lucky with Randy Gregory not getting signed. I know the Joneses try to spin it like they did that on purpose. They didn't, but I'm glad they didn't. In hindsight, because give me Sam Williams, give me obviously Dorrance Armstrong and give me Fowler over just Randy Gregory all day.
Yep.
All day.
I would agree with
All
that.
day.
I got one more comment before we go to the next thing real quick on this defensive end, because I think this is interesting, because I think that competition go heat up, and I'm going to be keeping my eye on that as the season progresses. But check this one out. This is a good counterpoint to me. I want to kind of get y'all thoughts on this. He say Fowler is better for the second unit. He gives them juice when Micah Parsons and Lawrence want to catch a breather.
That's where I'm coming from. I mean, that's why I like him coming off the bench. It's kind of like this, boss. When you're playing the game of basketball, right? Everybody wants to start, but you know what? Some guys are 6 men. Some guys got the starter minutes, even though they're 6 men. They play almost like a starter, and that's what I look at. Dante Fowler Jr. He's like your 6th man on the defense. He gets to go against a second unit, or he gets to go against some guys when they're tired, and I feel like he gives that juice. And I don't disagree with you, boss, that he could be the starter, because you got the DeMarcus Lawrence, you got Michael Parsons. He could be a devastating starter. But I kind of like it how they're doing it with Dorrance Jr. I just feel like he's earned those reps. You know, he's put in the work. He's got 4 sacks already, a block punt, block field. I mean, he's all around there. So I feel like he's earned that right to kind of start. And you're not falling off when you can bring a Fowler in there out of nowhere. You go, I'm saying, I love how out of nowhere you can bring a Fowler, because guess what? When they want to rest DeMarcus Lawrence and they want to rest some other guys, they'll put Fowler on one side and they'll put Dorrance Armstrong Jr. on the other side. And it's been pretty effective too.
Right. Go ahead, Law.
No, it's been very effective, and I think that the more we give these rotations, most team fits. Most sacks happen in the National Football League in the late third and the fourth quarter, and that's when we see our defense turn up even more. That's when we see even Parsons, even with a growing, get out there and say, okay, I'm going to make things happen. So, yeah, man, I agree with what Big Game James said.
So check this out. I want to kind of flip to this. And you talked about this last week, Big. So I want to kind of tackle this over again from this super chat. Action said Jordan Lewis should be splitting Tick with Bland. Let me start off, bro, because that's hard.
Hey, before you say that, let me just give this shout out to a super chat too.
Okay.
It's on the same subject line.
Let's
PJ, and then you can tie it in. PJ says, "Can we please get rid of LVE and Jordan Lewis? Please get them out of there." And you can go in with your.
Let's go. So
Well,
we'll
time is on your side.
all right, so we got the OC here. So check this out.
Is on our side. Yes, it
Yes, it is.
And I'm gonna be
Yes,
honest.
it is.
Time is on your side.
I don't want to
Because
get
of the
rid of.
fact, Go ahead, boss.
I don't want to get rid of none of them. But I do agree
No,
with
not right now.
more Tick.
Next year.
And listen, I said this today on Competition Tuesday. I do a video every week on Competition Tuesday on whose play or lack of play is creating opportunities. So this the deal, bro. And y'all know how I cut for Jordan Lewis. But I would be very inconsistent if I didn't keep it real and say, when you young and you playing just as good, you go with the younger guy. Because I was saying that with Steele versus Lyle yesterday. I think it's time for them to start splitting some reps, bro. Like, real talk. Creating opportunities for Bland, man. I'm just keeping it real. And I'm to the point, to be honest, and this is coming from an ex-corner, based on what I saw on Lewis versus the Rams and what I saw with Bland, bro, I'm ripping the Band-Aid off and I'm going with Bland, bro. Just keeping it real right now.
You know, boss, by playing that position, that's one position you don't want to rotate in and out. You got to get a vibe, a feel of the game. And if you do that with Jordan Lewis, getting him in, getting him out, I think that will mess up the continuity. Either you all in or out. That's how I look at it. I want Bland to make his mistakes, let him be miniature, minute, I meant to say, and then let him get back out there. I saw in the Washington game, he made a few mistakes against Curtis. What's the last name? Samuel.
Curtis Samuel.
He made a few mistakes, but I saw him getting into a rhythm and a vibe and the feel of the game. And when they try to run that same route concept again, he was on it like a cheap suit. So I want my guy Bland, if they're going to go all in, you got physical size. He's stronger. I think that he's a little bit bigger. He tackles better than Jordan Lewis. And I think that will be the way to go. I think also that Jordan Lewis is on his contract year, right? And if you cut him now, you can save. Yeah, you can cut him now and save about $6 to maybe $5 to $6 million. I don't think the Cowboys will be willing to do that, but they're going to at least.
What about a trade
see him
option?
play? Okay.
See, y'all playing around, man. Y'all playing around. And I'm going to just go ahead and tell y'all the truth about this situation. When you deal with Bland, what you see here is a young man with the makings of a really, really, really good cornerback. All right? A really good cornerback. And if you let this man play, he is going to end up being Terrence Steelish. Terrence Steelish, meaning a steal. He's I'm telling you what I see. This man is going to end up playing close to a first-round level if you let this man play. He has size, speed, athleticism, instinct. He's had a great camp. If you let him go ahead and cook, and you let him cook in games, this man is going to be okay. Furthermore, I'm going to go ahead and say this. No shade on LVE at all, right? LVE has had some good moments this season, okay? But I'm telling you right now, man. I'm telling y'all right now, man. What in the world are we smoking? Why don't we get Harper on the field? We got Barr. He's an agent linebacker. Infuse the youth. Go ahead and do it, Dan Quinn, because we got packages we can insert the man in, and we can get this man an opportunity to cut his teeth and see if he can do what he did in the preseason. That is going to be the finishing touches on a top 5 defense.
Yeah, and my boy Anthony, he got him a long-term question. He say, what happens when Tyron and Peters return?
Easy. I'm gonna tell you, easy. You let Peters stay his butt on the bench until he lose another 20 pounds because he came back too fast and he wasn't ready, man. That's what gets you hurt when you extend your body and you ain't physically in condition and you ain't ready. So you don't rush him. We got guards that can play. We're not worried about that. That's fine. Now, what happens when you bring Tyron Smith back? Here's the situation, and this is a situation, all right, which is a situation that could get out of control. If you still have the emergence of a Tyler Smith, what you do is you make a decision. You say, listen, we go do this. This is what they should do. They should let Tyron Smith actually go ahead and explore options. But they're not gonna do that. But this is what they gonna do. They ain't gonna do that, Law. So I know y'all know about you, Law. I already know about you, Law. But look, they ain't gonna do that. They gonna go ahead and probably slide Tyler Smith aside, and they're gonna let Tyron Smith play it out. And out of honor and respect for his great career, they should. I think it's the right thing to do.
No.
Listen. I think it's the right thing. Listen, boss. Hold on, let me finish. Don't you get
Don't let him finish.
I don't want to hear that.
I don't want to hear nothing.
Listen. Let me finish.
Get him out of here. Throw him out of the club.
I'll let you finish. Because I want to see if you can clean this up because this is so far. Oh, my God.
No, I'm going to clean it up. I'm going to tell you what time it is, man. Look, they are morally going to feel it's the right thing to do on honor code. I know, listen, I'm talking about
Is this
Cowboys.
football or political football? You know?
It's political football. This is political football. You should be able to answer to that.
Hey, one thing I can tell you, man, every time Tyron, it takes at least one game for Tyron Smith to get ready. I seen him when he came back. Go back and watch the Raiders tape last year. He was coming back from that injury. He came back. He was sitting there trying to block air. And we had a horrible game until like the late fourth quarter till our offensive line got right, you know, and they were playing musical chairs in that game. Do you guys remember? Terrence Steele, Lyle Collins on that right side. The offensive line was a shamble. And then when Tyron Smith got hurt again, his first day back was against the 49ers. And, of course, the 49ers front ain't nothing to sneeze at. But it goes to show you that it's going to take at least one game. So are you willing to sacrifice one game so that Tyron Smith can get right?
No.
No, I'm not. And I'm saying that they should let that man explore his options via trade or moving on. But they ain't going to do that because it's the Cowboys. They go Romo him. They
Yeah,
They want him to come back.
Sean
And listen,
Liam,
I
yeah.
respect the man. Listen, wait a minute. I respect the man. And I think that he's a great player, Hall of Famer. So based on what they feel is morally right, they're going to give him every opportunity to play it
Morally.
out until almost he decides that he's going to move on. That's what they're going to do. But what they should do is ride with that youth and let's try to ride this thing to the Super Bowl. That's what they should
Man,
do.
that's what they
Hey,
should
and
do.
it's
And they
damn
should
good
be open
insurance
to
policy.
trade them, bro. They should be open to do what they got to do. Football is a
Trade 'em.
hard, dirty business, dog.
Yo,
You know what I'm saying?
feel
Like it wasn't easy for me to be honest and say, because I like Lewis. And I feel like he got treated unfairly for most of his career in Dallas. I felt like he beat out Anthony Brown for years. But hold on, I want to take a point real quick. First of all, also, somebody said, I want to talk about this. Somebody said we wild for questioning Dan Quinn. Listen, bro. Question everything. Ain't nobody above question, bro. And see, I was saying this. Remember, I was saying it was crazy that Dan Quinn was putting Neville Gallimore at the wide 9. So you think that's smart? You think that's smart?
No.
Yeah, I want to
No.
know. Do you think it's smart to put Neville Gallimore at defensive end?
No.
Do you think it's smart to put LVE at the 0?
No.
Come on, bro. So like, nah, bro. Everybody get questioned. Everybody. Ain't nobody above question, bro. Period. If I'm seeing something that look crazy, I'm gonna question it. I'm not gonna just sit back and be like, hey, that's Dan Quinn. I ain't gonna never say nothing. I'm not gonna question him. I'm gonna question the hell out of him. And then we end up being right. Because we were saying on the final word that they need to keep Tank at defensive end. And the week after that, they did. And Tank turned up. And we ain't never have to talk about it again. So yes, question everything.
hey, before we venture off too far into that, I just got to ask y'all a question.
Sure.
Very comparable to Tyron Smith is Trent Williams, right? I think he's walking Hall of Famer, right, for the 49ers. And
Better.
he was originally drafted to the Washington team, and he played his best years. Now, almost if you look at his resume, is with the Niners now. What did the 49ers have to give up to get him?
I don't remember.
I know the Washington would do anything to have him back, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
Well, I think that
my boy Nate asked the question. He said, how was y'all excited about getting Petersburg with trade T. Smith? Bro, football is hard, bro. Yeah. It's a hard business. When these guys start getting older, let me just give y'all some history, dog. I'm going to keep it real. San Fran is the people that started this model, and they've been keeping it for years. And this is what San Fran was doing in the 80s. They would know when you had 4 years left, and they would trade you right when you had 4 years left. While you had some value to get a trade, they didn't care who you was. Montana, Lott, they didn't care, dog. Listen, Jerry Rice, bro. Football, bro, you can't fall in love with players. This is a hard business. And when these guys start aging, you can't be like, and see, y'all basically sounding like little Jerry Joneses. We gonna be loyal
he got
to
the
you.
answer though. He got the answer over here. Dallas Cowboy 92. He said they gave a first and a third. So would you take a first and a third to get rid of Tyron Smith?
Right now, yes.
I ain't gonna say that. I'm just gonna be quiet over here.
Man, political.
First,
keep it real. You ain't gotta keep it real. I will. I keep it real.
He said first,
yes.
third, and a fifth. Yeah.
Man, why the hell you wouldn't? Listen.
Yes.
Why wouldn't you? Go ahead, OC. Man, come on.
Okay, wait a second. Because Look, because Trent Williams is a guy, man, that man is on the same level, if not better, in some respects of his game than a Tyron Smith. Man, very, very durable, still a relatively young guy. Hasn't had as many injuries. He's had some, but not as many injuries as a Tyron Smith. Man, can do every freaking thing on the field and is very dominant when he's moderately healthy, man. And so, absolutely, man. And look, they doubled down. Didn't they pay Trent Williams $100 and some odd million and then extended him for like 5 years at the 49ers? So they believe in his talent. Could listen, and I'm not throwing no shade, but I'm saying we know that the Cowboys would extend Tyron Smith at this point for $100 something million 5 years. We know that. Don't we?
No, we ain't gonna do
So
that.
let's just be honest about the situation, man. It's no shade to call a spade and to call it how you see it. I love his game and respect his game so much, man, and respect him as a person, right? But on the business side of things, man, on the injury history, the last 5 years, the tearing of the hamstring, you tore your hamstring off, man? Like you tore your hamstring off? Yeah, like you know what I'm saying? You tore it off? I mean, like, come on, man. That's kind of difficult to come back from, man. In a position where your lower body is everything. You can have a week.
And OC, your replacement is playing good. That's the biggest thing.
He's a first-round draft pick, and it's cheaper.
Yeah, your replacement is playing good. We got the replacement for T. Smith in the building. I'm sorry, y'all. As much as I love Romo, when Dak came in cheaper and was playing just as good, bye.
You hit the womp.
Bye.
Yeah, so
I'm
man,
finna shock y'all with this. I'm finna piss a lot of y'all off. We should
But I
be.
want to hear what Big got to say. I want to Big
No,
quiet in the cut.
I didn't know.
I'm finna
Big,
shock y'all with what I'm.
trade
You
him?
know who we should be thinking about?
Who's that?
Zach Martin.
What's up?
100%.
On the trade.
The OC
On the
said
trade.
I mean,
it.
now,
We should
now,
be.
first
Now I already know
now,
how
listen.
Cowboy fans
Listen.
are. He one of those they go treat like Witten. Oh, don't you dare, boss! Don't you dare! Cause see, Cowboy fans, we are not like New England fans and San Fran fans.
boss.
We not. We not. We fall in love with players, and then we wait till they age and they leg falling off, and then we want to have this conversation. You should have this conversation once you starting to see the decline.
Zach Martin.
Yes. See, cause Law, you was against the OC last year, cause the OC won. He said last year. He said, man, we need to start looking at T. Smith. He said that last year, and you did a whole video, and you said it was too soon.
I said I do not want his future because he wanted to Terrence Steele to play left tackle.
The conversation was
video.
always about.
Well, go ahead.
The conversation was always about drafting somebody
I got
to
you, Big.
replace him. You know what I'm saying? That was a conversation. It was never that I was an advocate for Terrence Steele to play left tackle
That boy
because
said
we
I'm
know
going for
his
shock value.
best position
No, I'm not.
is right tackle. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Big.
That boy said I'm going for shock
all I
value.
was-
No, I'm not. Listen, let me tell y'all, I ain't never trying to shock y'all. All you got to go do is go look at the history of teams who've done this successfully. And how much value. You know who does this better than anybody? New England. You know Collins, they got rid of Collins.
I'm holding on to Zach Martin though, man. I'm holding on to him, man.
All right.
I'll keep holding
Go ahead,
on.
Big. I would put some phone calls out there, and that ain't no shock value. If I can give me a first and a third, man.
I'll keep holding on. I'm holding on to Zach, baby. Maybe I'm biased, man. Maybe I'm biased.
You are.
On Zach Martin.
You
I'm
biased.
I'm super biased.
Boss
on
Cowboy.
Zach.
This is what
The
we gonna
glob.
do.
I like
Because
Hold on, we
because I've
cutting
been
off
talking
Big,
about
bro.
this-
We keep cutting off Big. I'm sorry, Big. Big, I'm sorry,
Sorry,
bro.
Go ahead, Big.
No, Big, I'm so sorry,
I'm
dog. We've
just
been cutting
listening.
you off, Big dog.
I'm just
Big,
listening.
it's on you, bro.
It's
Go
all
ahead.
good.
I'll
all
keep
good.
holding on.
Lord.
Yeah, your ass keep holding on, Law, because I'm gonna just go ahead and say it. Because you remember in 2020, actually it was 2019, when I said get rid of Tyron Smith then. when they was talking about the Jamal Adams. When we was doing our podcast, I kept on saying and still and Sky was always getting mad at me because I was saying get rid of Tyron Smith. He's downtrending. Get him while he's good. Don't try to get rid of him when he's broken down in the hurt, which he is now. Now, what kind of value can you get with him? Not a lot, because they're gonna look at him like he always hurts. So we ain't gonna spend all kind of draft capital for him. You could have did it about 2 or 3 years ago when he still had that good tread, and you would have got some good value from him, and I bet you still would have been okay. But they was just like you said, they're gonna Romo him. OC said they're gonna Romo, and Boss said it too. They're gonna Romo him and say,
him.
Well, we appreciate
and Sean Lee him
from here. We appreciate everything you did, so we don't want to hurt your feelings. So we're gonna insert you back in the lineup because of what you did. It ain't about what you did, it's about what you're doing now. And what he's doing now is always getting hurt. And what Tyler Smith is doing right now is getting better and better and better. Yeah, he took some lumps, but I love that he took some lumps against Aaron Donald. I love he took them lumps. That's going to get him better. I'm glad he went against Aaron Donald. That's going to make him a better player after the day, and I'm cool with that. So leave that man there and stop playing with that foolery. You should go try to get some draft capital, but you're probably not for Tyler Smith now.
He go get that Sean Lee treatment.
I'm gonna tell you the real.
I found it. Hold on before you go.
Oh Lord.
In 2019, Trent Williams was injured for the season. He was injured he didn't play at all in 2018.
Okay.
Them doggone Niners had to give, and he was playing for the Washington team. And then he got picked up for the Niners in 2020. For a first and a third.
What?
So you probably can still get some trade value out of Tyron Smith.
Not a first. Not a first.
And a third. And they're not going to do that for Dallas. They're not going to do that for Dallas. That's what y'all need to understand. They're not going to make Dallas better. A lot of people don't like Jerry Jones and the Cowboys. So you think they're going to give them a first and a third for Dallas? Hell no. They're going to go the cheapest way they can for Dallas. Maybe it was another team that they ain't feel threatened by, but a lot of people don't want to see Dallas back on top. So they ain't going to give them good draft capital, especially when they see this young team balling like it is now.
And the Cowboys are not very slick and very crafty.
Let's just play
Very crafty how they deal with trades.
Facts.
They're not crafty.
Exactly.
So if you're trying, if you shopping Tyron and you're trying to get a first round, they already know you about to cut him. They already know you about to cut him. So if you don't get right. So if I don't get what I want, I'm gonna cut him anyway. So we might as well stand pat and then throw our bid in once you cut this guy. And I said this 2 drafts ago. I said this 2 drafts ago. Well, I said 2 drafts ago. Remember this, Boss Cowboy? I said 2 drafts ago. I said, look, man, we might want to draft this guy out of Michigan State. We might want to look at some tackles to look at the left tackle. And I said this almost a year ago. I said Zach Martin is still good, but he's not as elite as he was 2 years ago.
He not.
And you know what, Boss Cowboy? We go do a tape session, and I'm gonna show 2 years ago, and I'll show this season, and I will show you compare and contrast. He's still a very good player, but I'm telling you, if you want to stockpile draft picks, what the Cowboys like to do, you like to get younger, and you want to go with Stephen Jones's model of keeping the cost down and winning through the draft, you got to explore that. Now, will the Cowboys do a lot? To your point, no, they ain't gonna do it. But I'm telling you, it's something worth talking about.
If Zach ain't here, if Zach ain't here,
they're gonna keep McGovern though.
Man, listen, it's time to have that conversation, dog.
You essentially have McGovern right there, right?
Right.
You got McGovern.
Yep.
They're gonna keep McGovern at that right guard. That's why I feel like they didn't let go of him when people were trying to trade for him and grab him and scoop him last year, because I feel like they're like, we got a plan, because McGovern, if Martin starts getting older and whatever, McGovern's younger and he's cheaper, and we just slide him on in. That is their theory. That's what they want to do. If they catch you slipping a little bit and they got that young guy, hey, they're going to insert him. But to your point, OC, with that linebacker position, if you cut your teeth with all these other young guys and at the cornerback spot, if you're cutting your teeth with all these younger guys and throwing them in there and letting them just get dirty and nasty, then you need to get Harper in there, because I guarantee you, if Harper get in there with his stoutness and the way he plays aggressive, he's going to step his game up playing with that defense. He's going to play with a reckless abandon. I think he's going to play better, and I'm telling you, I think he may play like fire. And Bland is just a dog. And I'm sorry, they gave you enough time, Jordan Lewis. We already said he wasn't a slot corner anyway, right, boss? We said he was more of an outside than a slot.
Yep.
Bland plays that slot nicely. You feel me? He comes in and he's a ball hawk, and that's what we want. Ball hawk, 6'2", ball hawk, not 5'11", ball hawk. We want tackler, 6'2", physical, not missed tackles, 5'11". Feel me? So let's make that happen. Go ahead and just cut your teeth because you got enough good defense that you can kind of deal with those rookie mistakes, in my opinion.
Yeah, man, I ain't falling in love with no players. I'm sorry.
And to boot, just real quick, what makes the conversation even plausible? And I know people ain't gonna like this. I know people say the OC crazy. They don't know what I'm talking about. We doing shock value. I'm dumb. I don't know football. All that kind of stuff. Say whatever you want to say. Say whatever you want to say. But I'm gonna tell you this. This what makes the whole ideal and concept plausible because Fairnuke is not playing bad as a first-year starter.
Yep.
He's not playing bad.
Yeah,
and as he develops, he's gonna get better. He's gonna get better, and he's gonna be starter quality. Mark my words.
Yeah, I'm gonna just be honest. Most Cowboy fans are trained. They can't even have this conversation. Like this conversation scaring people. Oh, you talking about Zach Martin? Y'all did the same thing with Witten. You waited till his whole leg fell off. You did the same thing with Sean Lee. But it's cool. We'll move on since people want to cry and worship players. I don't worship none of these players. So let me say this. Which way is right?
Oh.
We just beat the Rams. Mm-hmm. Which way of building is right? I want to go around the whole circle on this. So Rams way or Cowboys way on personnel? Which way is the right way?
Who go first?
You go first, dog.
All right. Well, I'll tell you. There's been a blueprint out there for many of years. There's no Rams way or Cowboys way. It should be the Patriots way. They just messed up with the quarterback situation with them. I just think that the balanced approach, do everything in moderation, that will be the way. But far as what the Rams did last season, they went all in. And what we can see now from an analysis aspect, we don't know because it's still too soon in the season to go ahead and declare those boys out of it. But I can tell you that the way the Cowboys are playing right now, homegrown, it feels good. But I truly believe that the way will be in moderation. A little bit of both.
I like that answer. Love it answer, actually.
Let me jump in there on this one.
I should have went last with it then.
Yeah, you should have went last. That was it right there.
Yeah. I mean, you gave the answer that we all kind of feel it, but I just feel that this is me. I love how the Rams won and how they had the nuts. But if we're talking about, you always want to build with young players, right? Always. That's always the smart thing to build through young players and draft. So if we're talking about that way, yes, but I still feel just like what Law was saying, moderation. There's still nothing wrong with adding a player or two that's a dog to blend with those young players to take you to a higher level. There's nothing wrong with that, and you'll still be in cap okay. I think that's where I call it the baby nuts. And that's where I feel that way. But if we're talking about the model's always to build through young players because you can always cycle them, and it's right, they cheaper. You can win, and you always want to win. Even when we saw the Cowboys, right, when they won those Super Bowls, they were young. And that's what you really liked about the team. They were young as hell. And they kept Jimmy Johnson was replenishing them players with young players.
Facts.
If you was a dog, the next year, it don't matter how much you was a dog. I'm drafting a dog right behind you. Okay, that's what Jimmy Johnson did.
James Washington.
I'm driving a dog right behind you the next year. I don't care how dog you was this year. I'm drafting a dog right behind you. So if you slip up a little bit, I got this dog right here, and there's nothing wrong with that. So I do like that model.
And can I add this to it before the OC go?
Yeah.
Here's another thing. Yeah, shout out to you, Mike. He said, look at the 92 and 95 Cowboys. Charles Haley and then 95 Prime. All right. So, but here's another thing. Remember, this is a copycat league. And we're seeing I can just name about 3 teams that went with the Rams philosophy. 1 being the Raiders, right? And 2 being the Chargers, and 3 being the Eagles, who we gonna face this weekend. Those teams all went with the Rams philosophy. So it's already given that the Raiders, they done wet the bed. And I think that even with the Chargers, J.C. Jackson, I think he's hurt. He's not playing up to the level that we thought that he was going to play coming from Patriots land. And, of course, they got Khalil Mack. But that's still a big question mark with the Chargers. Now we're seeing the Eagles. They're 5-0. They went with the Rams philosophy of piggybacking off of what they did last year. So we will see how all of that will unfold. Time will tell.
OC, it's on you, big dog.
Well, the Rams way or the Cowboys way? Well, guys, we all are mature men here, and I don't mean no disrespect to anybody when I say this, but I mean, do you like foreplay or do you like sex? What do you want to do?
I want sex.
You want some really good foreplay or you want to have sex?
Both.
Now, if you want to have sex, then you probably look at the Rams way. You want to win a Super Bowl? You want to have enough talent to where you can go all in and get elite veteran people at a discount that you can afford to try to win that Super Bowl. Rams way. You want to be competitive? You want to look good? You want to have on lingerie? You want to tease people? You want to make it look like you're about to do something, and then you get lose in the playoffs. Well, go the Cowboys way. The Cowboys way is going to have you competitive. The Cowboys way is going to have you winning a good amount of regular season games. It's going to have you looking okay. How your lingerie? How your lingerie on? That's cool, but it ain't never coming off because you ain't going that deep in the playoffs. So, which one do you want? Hit the button, ball. You about to let it back. Hit the button.
Oh, man, bro. Oh, man, I don't mean to fight you, dog. You my homie, too, bro. I don't want to fight you, but Cowboys way. The Cowboys way. The Cowboys way.
The Cowboys way only makes sense if you close. If you're missing a few pieces and you need a few high quality draft picks to help you get over the edge, the Cowboys way makes sense. But if it's inverse and you can get veteran guys that have the game experience and that can ball, then man, it's been proven the past several Super Bowls, including the Rams and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Their model, they went out and got as many high quality free agents that had great game experience and that were great players to push them over the top. And it paid dividends in Super Bowls. So if we're talking about Super Bowls, then that's the answer.
All right, so I'll let you finish. So let me tell you why. Because I gave you 2 shots at this and you still didn't land nothing.
Come on.
So this is why the Cowboys is the way. It's because, first of all, who had the talent last year over the Rams? The Cowboys had way more talent than the Rams last year. We had so much talent that we lost Amari Cooper, Lyle Collins, and Randy Gregory, and we felt like we fell off when really we didn't. That because we all knew that was a Super Bowl team, and it wasn't talent why we lost last year. It was Kellen Moore play calling. You get another play call in here, we go to the Super Bowl and likely win it. We was number one in the we was number one.
Yeah,
of course it's hypothetical. But this is the thing. We had all the metrics that say we supposed to win. We was number one in turnover differential, which is the biggest predictor of wins. We was number one in offense. We had the quarterback. We had 3 receivers. We had so much talent with the Cowboy way that we could just throw Cedric Wilson in there. Our whole line was stacked. Our whole D was stacked.
All right, so comparable to Cooper Kupp, who was better than Cooper Kupp last year?
Better?
On our Cowboys. Better. Cooper Kupp.
I would say if we used Amari right, he would have been just as good.
Is Higbee, who's better, Higbee or Schultz?
Higbee.
Yeah, Higbee.
All right, so who's better, Odell Beckham or Gallup or CeeDee Lamb?
CeeDee Lamb.
Robert Woods or CeeDee Lamb or Gallup? Because
Gallup.
Robert Woods got hurt, Okay, Gallup is better.
And I like this. This is a good exercise. I'm loving this
Okay,
exercise. This
okay.
is good. I'm loving
Who's
this.
better than Von? Who's better than Von Miller?
Michael Parsons right now.
Who's better
Von's
than Leonard
still good.
Floyd?
No, hold on. Wait. Do we have a problem with what I said? Is there a problem?
I'm just going down the list.
I got several problems. Let me wait.
Hold on.
I
You got a
several
problem with me
problems.
saying right now Michael Parsons is better than Von?
No,
but
I
that
don't.
was a
I'm saying
home
I know,
run.
then why
I'm
you
talking about
so speaking then?
They went and got Von.
I'm
though.
messing
They
with
went and
you,
got Von. Parson was homegrown. So
That-
so we're talking about the people
What
they
you
went and
said,
got.
our way of building, homegrown. I'm still going
I
with
see
us.
what you're saying.
Yeah,
oh,
our
man,
way.
Shoot. Our way for the long run, but the Rams.
The
were
short
loaded.
run. Who was better last year, Michael Parsons or Von?
Last year, of course, Parsons leveled out, but Von had more. He been around. That broom can get those corners.
How did he play in the playoffs?
Man.
How was
The
Von in the playoffs?
the Rams missing Von Miller right now.
All right, let's
He
keep
was
going
not
down the list though.
playoff.
Let's keep going down the
He
list
was
though.
Leonard Floyd, or Randy? Was it Randy Gregory? Yeah, Leonard Floyd or Randy.
Let's go with Tank on that one. Our second best DT.
Yeah, okay, Leonard Floyd or Tank. Who's
Tank.
better? Or who's better?
Tank.
Who had better production last year?
Floyd.
Leonard Floyd with double-digit sack. Yeah, I think he had 12 sacks, 62 pressures last season.
Who had a
We
better
only
pace?
had one guy with.
See, because we can't do that because they didn't play all season.
Yeah.
If we talk about who had a better
yeah,
pace,
because DeMarcus Lawrence was hurt.
yeah, if we talk about a better pace of
As
performance
always.
and who had more turnovers, it was Tank. But let's keep going. Let's keep
I'm
going.
going off the top of my head. I can't name all of them.
Leave me
Pull up
alone.
there. Ramsey.
Jump in.
It was Ramsey versus Diggs, huh? Go ahead.
Diggs, easily.
Let me jump in real quick.
Safety,
Boss Cowboy.
us. Safeties, us.
Boss,
Tyler
you my
Rapp.
guy.
Yeah,
Boss, you my guy.
over Tyler
Boss.
Rapp.
Boss, you're my guy. But I'm gonna go ahead and tell you what you just described. You described a beautiful woman.
No, listen, man.
That-
Listen,
that-
I ain't
that you-
finna.
that you-
Listen,
that
I ain't
you-
finna
that- that
debate
you- that
with
you're
metaphors.
never gonna
Y'all
be
gotta
there.
stop
That's
this.
what you
I get so
described. You
sick of
described
this.
gorgeous,
Every time I talk
perfect
about
woman.
specifics, y'all want to
You
use
described
metaphors and
gorgeous,
scriptures.
Beautiful
Don't
woman.
throw
I wanna
Don't
see
say
this lady.
y'all.
I'm
I wanna
sick
see
of
this
lady
metaphors.
what
Can we
he's
just
talking
stick
about.
with
Don't say
the
y'all.
topic?
Don't say y'all.
To what end?
Not
Boss
you,
Cowboy?
big.
To what, boss? Boss. To what end? All these advantages. All
I don't
these
want no
draft picks,
metaphors. Let's
all
stick
this-
with what we was doing, line by
all
line.
This talent, all this talent, all these features, all these benefits. But guess what? The car can't drive, boss. The car
But
did
why?
not get you to a Super Bowl. The Rams have proof that they were not as talented, but they still won a Super Bowl. Give me the Rams. I don't care.
No, bro.
Give me the Rams.
Give
me
you
the
the Rams.
Rams.
I ain't
Give me
taking
the
the
ring.
Rams way. I'm
Give
taking
me the
our
ring.
way.
Give me the ring. Give me the ring.
I think what the OC is saying is that if you pick Sean McVay up and put him on 2021's Cowboys team,
We win the Super Bowl.
do we win the Super Bowl?
Yes.
Basically. Yeah. Okay.
Because guess what? This is what we would be doing if we took Sean McVay and planted it in Dallas. We would have been targeting Amari Cooper.
And keep Dan Quinn.
Right.
And just pick
Let
up
me
Sean
ask you a
McVay.
question, OC. If we did what Law said and took Sean McVay and planted him in Dallas,
Right.
would we actually get rid of Amari Cooper, and would Amari would have been getting his targets? Yes or no?
You know the answer to that, but that's all hyperbole. That's the problem. This is all
That's
hypothetical.
facts.
And that's just fine.
That's
and this is
facts.
fine. But the Cowboys don't have enough sense to hire Sean
And
McVay.
hyperbole. That's not hyperbole, dog.
Hyperbole is when
Yeah,
you
And see, you can't just say. See, you can't say because I'm not talking about when I say the Rams way. See, this is how the
Okay.
OC trying to trick y'all. He tried to trick everybody in the chat. What he said is, I want the ring. I'm not talking about the ring. I'm talking about the way of building talent. Which way? Because the ring had a lot to do with coaching. So we can't, I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about who has the most talent. Dallas.
we just
And
had Kellen Moore, man. He
my
had to
point
go
is this,
through
though,
the drug
boss. My only point is this. What does your talent? What like? I'm a like put it like this. Okay, boss. Like I'm a smart, highly intelligent person,
Mhm.
but I'm homeless. No offense to homeless people.
Oh, this
What
metaphors.
good? What good? But you're using a metaphor too, so I'm using one back. I'm saying, what good does my intelligence do me when it don't produce nothing? What good?
Dog,
What? That's the only
can we
point.
stick to
What
the
good is
topic?
it?
This is
What?
the topic.
We are. We
This is
are,
the
bro.
topic.
We are.
Talent, not metaphors, not scriptures, not
I'm not
psalms, not the gospels. Bro,
giving you the
talent. Can
gospel.
we just stick to the topic of talent? Cause that's
Can
what I
jump
see.
in
That's
on
what
this?
y'all like
Can
to
I
do.
jump on
Whenever
this?
y'all
Can
want
I
to
jump on
debate, y'all
this?
start
'Cause I've
talking
been
about
sitting here
you
being
gotta
quiet.
build a foundation. You gotta.
Boss.
It's
Wait,
always
Anthony
metaphors.
Terrell in
No.
the chat. Anthony Terrell in the chat
Boss.
says our last Super Bowl was the Rams' way. Anthony Terrell in our chat said that. He just said that.
Yeah,
Our
and
last Super Bowl
95.
was the Rams' way.
to a degree, he
Think
right.
about that.
But
How
this
many?
is
We only got
to a
one.
degree, he right. But this is the deal. I'm talking about talent, not
Okay.
metaphors.
All he just talking about talent. If we just talking about line for line talent, Dallas was just as talented as the Rams. They won.
Easily.
The Rams won because of coaching.
Right.
They won because of
Okay.
coaching, and they owner stayed the hell out the way. The owner didn't say nothing. Owner shut the hell up, be quiet, don't say a damn word, and he just let them coaches coach. Put all that energy and let the coaches do their thing, and that's why they won the Super Bowl.
That's
Because
it.
Mike McCarthy said himself, we went in there scared, we went in there nervous and stuff. What the hell? You had talent to beat anybody. You come in there talking about y'all was nervous and stuff.
Yeah.
That right there, just I don't even want to bring that up no more because I'll start getting mad. But if we look at talent for talent, we can sit there and say we could bang with the Rams on talent. We could bang with
True.
them line for line, especially last year. We definitely could have banged for them line for line last year. We had the team to go to the Super Bowl, and Dallas blew it.
Yeah.
True. True.
Look,
True.
we
True.
just beat the Rams with Cooper
Yep.
Rush. You telling
Right.
me we couldn't beat the Rams last year with Dak?
No, we could. No doubt. No doubt. You're right.
But that's why I put
No
this in
argument
because I
there.
knew this was gonna be a good fight. I knew this was gonna be a good fight. Even though
Now
me
with
and
that,
Big
now with that
won.
old form, now with that old
Nah, me
formula.
and Big won.
I heard
bro.
you.
Me and Big won. Me and Big easily won this one,
But,
bro.
hey,
This was
OC,
easy.
I appreciate OC though, because
He tried.
Hey, that's why. Hey, I love OC though, because OC like, all right, that's what's up. See why you gotta do that, boss?
Man,
That's
I
because
ain't
y'all
got no.
boys.
The
That's how
OC
you get that off.
That's the OC. That's my homie, though. That's my
That's
homie,
your
though.
boy. That's how you get that off. You know
No,
what I'm
that
saying?
that's. Hey, I want to talk
It's
about
your
something
dog.
real quick, though, man. Just real quick, man. Y'all ready to talk about Philly? Oh, y'all want
Oh
to?
yeah,
Man.
yeah, we can talk about them.
All right, because I want to talk about one more. My boy say OC won. OC ain't win nothing.
Salute. Salute, Terrell. Salute. You know football, sir.
So, so
I'm drawing him back in. You see, look at him. Look at him. He having a hard time letting it go.
See,
He's going
we
right
was-
back
yeah,
in.
yeah, you drawing
we
me
was
back
about to go
in,
to
bro.
Philly.
You was just
You
finna
was
draw
right
me
back
back
in.
in. I ain't
You
finna
was
come
right
back
back
into
in.
that mess. All right,
Yeah,
like,
let it
listen.
go.
Let me take one more topic before we go to listen, because I know we getting ready to talk about these funky green dudes. Cause listen, I can't wait to talk about Philly. Cause trust me, every week we not gonna let you down. We talking about the Game 5 reactions. That's what we doing, right? We reacted to Game 5. And then we gonna start preparing for Philly. So we not gonna let y'all down. We do the same things every week.
Every week.
We go through.
Yep.
This is what we do every week. We don't change it up. We go first talk
rush
about
it,
the.
you know.
Yeah. So I know y'all ready to talk about them green dookie boys. Me too. But I
Dookie
want to
boy.
talk about a couple of things real quick, man. That just kind of stood out to me and get y'all thoughts on it. All right. So this is from my boy Landlord. All right. And he said, from Trayvon Diggs, 10 points was on me. And my boy Landlord said, accountability is powerful. I bet he show up against Philly. Somebody getting absolutely apprehended. Nice. What's y'all thoughts on both comments? The Diggs owning it on Twitter and Landlord, or whatever y'all want to talk about. I'm gonna start with you, Big, because we've been hogging from you all day.
Oh, it's all good. I've been appreciating listening to you guys, so it's all good. But just to say that right there, I love it because first of all, I love the accountability, but I love how Diggs is not scared. You get what I'm saying? Because when you
Yeah.
see Cooper Kupp, he was jumping in that slot with him. I ain't seen Diggs jumping in that slot all like that, going crazy with it, and he did not back away from that challenge. And I don't care what anybody says. Cooper Kupp doing that to damn near everybody in the league. You understand that?
Right.
Cooper Kupp doing that to everybody in the league in that slot. He gonna get you with that damn that quick shake. How many corners is staying with him with that? Let's keep it all the way funky. And so let's just say that I love the accountability. And then, like he says, in that next game, I believe that because we already know that Philly, he hears that noise from Philly. You don't hear all that damn noise all this summer. Oh, Trevor Diggs ain't all this. Trevor Diggs ain't all that. You know he's coming there, and he's been having, let's not forget, has Trevor Diggs had some damn good games against the Eagles? Let's ask our question
Fantastic
at that.
games.
Has Trevor Diggs had fantastic games against the Eagles? You might as well say he they daddy over
Amazing
there the way
games.
where he owns the Eagles with
Owns
Carson Wentz
the Eagles.
and Carson Wentz and
Hurts.
Jalen Hurts.
He
He been
sure
earning
do.
both of y'all. So let's go ahead and get hyped on that over there. Them Eagles, they over there running their yip. Yeah, we gonna do this to Diggs, and if they got that on Diggs, wait with AJ Brown. No, watch what Diggs gonna do. Don't say no when he take it to the house against y'all Eagles.
Again. Again.
If he get one at an Eagle land and take it to the house, man, I'm gonna tell you, I've been nice to y'all Eagles. I've been nice all week. I said I'm gonna chill, but don't let us go into Philly and whoop y'all ass.
Man, we finna
in trouble.
Go ahead. Who next? Who next? Law or the OC?
Pray for rain, you got to deal with the mud.
Okay, y'all take it too long. I'm jumping in here, dog.
Go ahead.
Tag you in.
Say, listen,
You
bro.
in.
I just went through 4 games. We better than Philly right now. Right now, I'm talking about without Dak. Yeah.
Ooh-wee.
See, a lot of people drunk on that 5-0, bro. Listen, I just went through all 8 games, and the most important game I watched was game 1 with Dallas versus Philly last year. If you go look close at that game, bro, Hurts didn't have a chance. He was running for his life the whole game. They had only 6 points for most of the game, and that came when they swiped the ball out of Dak's hands in the end zone.
Yep.
They almost didn't even get 14 points on Dallas, and that was on Dallas from last year. Our defense better this year. We finna get after them balls.
I will say this. This though, boss. I will say this. Now, I ain't jumping on the Eagles. They do got a damn good offensive line. That's gonna be a good battle. That's
they got
where
some
it's gonna
hurt.
be.
They
right
hurt,
there.
bro.
They
Their offensive line hurt.
Who hurt?
Who hurt? No.
Yeah, they
Who's
got
hurt?
3 people. Hold on, because I was looking at the
Okay.
scouting report today. Hold on real quick. Let me pull
That
it up.
offensive line is doggish right now. They got the best offensive line in football.
Jordan Mailata, he's questionable.
Yeah.
Hey, but I sent you something, boss. Go check out
To
your
Twitter?
DM on Twitter. Yeah.
I got
want you to play that audio. I don't know how you can download it. real
Man,
quick.
I got
This is
you,
a
bro.
quick one. Yeah.
Well, why
play
you do that,
one.
man? Let me
But,
get in.
Yeah.
No, go ahead, boss. Go ahead.
No,
I'm gonna get into something that's real. Yeah, I'm just gonna get into something that's really quick here. I mean, look, this is a very winnable game for the Dallas Cowboys, but I'm gonna say something, right? Hey, man, don't disrespect your opponent. They 5-0 for a reason. They're the 4th leading rushing team in the league. They can line up and do power football. You got to pay attention to Jalen Hurts because he is improving as a quarterback and he still has escapability. All right. So you got to make sure you keep him bottled up, man. And so here's the great thing. We got a great defense, a great rush, and we got the team speed to keep him bottled up. But I'm saying you better be careful about that because you're not going to be able to open it up and go spread with Cooper Rush. So if these guys are effective running the ball and chewing clock, this could be like a 1-possession type of football game if they can chew clock on you and pound you with that ball and get first downs.
That's
Just
the
saying.
big if.
Also,
That's the big if. Can we stop the run?
Well, but they're the fourth leading rushing team, so you got to consider also the rookie Jordan Davis, right? He leads all rookies in pressures and tackles, all right, and he's the highest rated rookie defensive lineman according to PPF, excuse me. So I'm not saying that means anything, but I'm saying he's played pretty well the first 5 games. So it'll be a good test for the interior to see how we deal with that. And so they got a solid squad. So hey man, don't go to sleep on this team. Don't go to sleep on this Eagles team. That's all
I
I'm
ain't
saying.
sleeping on them. I'm just talking about the film. Because when I was looking at the stats, and see, when you're talking about they top in rushing, you got to also add in a mobile quarterback, right? So that mobile quarterback adds to that rushing total. This ain't just rushing, so you got an extra leg in there. And I was looking at how we was playing them. That's the key. We have the players that match up to them. So with Dallas Goedert, because I went through 5 games, so I was scouting the hell out of them. And I was seeing how we was matching up.
Yeah.
Right. So,
eraser.
And I looked at how we was, So when you look at Goddard, we definitely got the tight end eraser for Goddard. Let me, I got Goddard here somewhere.
And Goddard's there. Goddard's, while you're looking that up, Goddard is their go-to guy. He's the guy that Hurts tend to look for. And then the next order on that list is A.J. Brown and then Devontae Smith. So those are his 3 target areas there. But I come here to tell y'all, I don't see anybody on that team that's equivalent to Cooper Rush.
Nope.
I mean, not equivalent to Cooper Kupp, I meant to say.
Yeah.
On the wide receiver. So,
nope.
And I said last game, I said Cooper Kupp is going to get his. I think that in this game, I think that Dallas Goedert, he will be the only person that's going to get his. I understand what A.J. Brown brings to the table. I understand that Devontae Smith, he's going to throw the 50-50 ball to him. Pray to God or Allah, Yahweh, of him coming down with the ball when he blindly throws it that way. But I think that the Cowboys are going to put a spy on Jalen Hurts, just like you've seen, and then they're going to shut down everything else and demand that team to run that ball.
And that's what we did. And Law, you took it right out of me. That's exactly what we did. We put Jalen Smith as a spy on Hurts, and it was hell on him. It was hell on him. And the only thing that they really doing with Dallas Goedert, and I'm going to say this, and I tweeted this today, and I mean what I say. I wish Dallas would use the screen principles and dump off principles that they use with Dallas Goedert. And Kellen Moore, I'm going to say this, bro. It's a damn shame that Philly know how to give they slow tight end and put him in space, and you don't know how to put Pollard and Zeke in space to catch. It just show you how elementary Kellen Moore really is. Because you can go watch any game, and the only thing they doing with Dallas Goedert, he not beating bars head up. They running screens and misdirections with him. Am I lying, Law? Because I know you've been watching the film, bro. Am I lying?
At Philly saying that Cooper Kupp, AJ is more athletic and better than Cooper Kupp. I'm just laughing at
what? Now, I do got respect for AJ game. I like his game. AJ low-key Dez. He got Dez-ish. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he don't got that footwork like that though. Not even he don't got that footwork like that.
He like a post-up receiver. He's
a big boy.
He's a big boy. He plays
That's
with
why
strength.
it's a better matchup. It's a better matchup for Diggs than Cooper Kupp, because that's not a matchup you want Diggs with Cooper Kupp, because he has that quickness.
Right.
And that's what Trevin Diggs struggles with. AJ Brown has kind of like the long speed. That's what Trevin Diggs can kind of deal with. So if they're trying to go deep, I feel like he can deal with him better. Or if he's coming off the line of scrimmage, because he's so damn big, he's not giving you that shake like Cooper Kupp is. So it's a better matchup, in my opinion, for Trevin Diggs with Brown than it is a Cooper Kupp.
And then another thing, we go run the ball successfully on them. We go run the ball because we did it game 1. And that's the same D-line, bro. Jordan Davis ain't making no difference. It's the same D-line. And
he's making some difference now. Don't do that, boss. Yes,
ain't gonna do Jordan Davis like that.
No, this is what I'm saying. He ain't making no difference in terms of getting a whole bunch of reps.
Right.
No, I'm not. Listen to what I said. I had to clarify that he not getting a bunch of reps. OC, he not.
He's getting enough reps though. He's not getting a bunch of reps, but he's getting quality reps. If Dallas, now you already said it, boss. We don't want Kellen Moore to just run those straight dives up the
No.
middle. That's not going to work against them Eagles, especially with Jordan Davis. That's not going to work. They need to get out on them edges in that Philly game, because if they try to be pig-headed or bull-headed and keep running that dive up the middle, I don't think it's going to be great.
Yeah,
And Hassan, he's pretty good on the edge. He's got good foot speed. I think he got 4 sacks for the season as well. And the other kid from Chargers that they picked up, Kazir White. So I get what we're.
You thinking Reddick?
Hassan Reddick, and they got Kazir. What's his
White,
name?
yeah.
White.
Kazir White,
Kazir
yeah.
White.
Yeah.
Yeah. So both of those guys, they are. They get to the flats real quick from the hook to flat real quick, but we got to continue that momentum. I look at the Eagles as a first and second quarter team. They don't score a lot in the third and the fourth quarter. So we can match that if the Jaguars sweated them, if the Lions sweated them, and even if the Arizona Cardinals sweated them. I know for damn sure the Cowboys are gonna put a lot of heat on them.
Yeah, the Cowboys finna get after them, bro. I think they gonna be another team that ain't gonna get to 20. I'm dead serious on that. They ain't finna get to 20. The question is, can we get to 20?
That's the question.
That's the
Because
question.
Cooper Rush going to have to make plays.
That's the go
Big
ahead, big.
six,
Go ahead,
baby.
big. Go
Big six,
ahead,
baby.
big.
I'm
Scoop
saying
and score.
Cooper Rush is going. You know what y'all was saying about Tony Pollard, though? You just said, boss, that you want to see get Tony Pollard in space. You know what I want to see from Tony Pollard?
What's that?
I want to see his receiver qualities, man. They spread him out wide. They had him in the Giants game, spreading him out wide. He had one-on-one matchups against the Bengals. He had one-on-one matchups against the Giants. I want to see them throw a pass farther than 5 yards with Tony Pollard. Throw a slant, throw a dig, throw a post with him. I guarantee y'all, I'm not going to guarantee it, but I have a very good feeling if we actually can see him catching passes like a receiver, we will do backflips and be excited like, oh, snap, where this been? I'm telling you, he can be a threat, but they don't never throw it to him. They don't never, he comes out the backfield, throw a quick 2-yard pass. And no, let him actually do some patterns. He's been out there where he's been on one-on-one coverage and he's been open. They don't look his way. Look his way. If you can get him in that passing game that they was talking about, we're going to add Tony Pollard in the passing game. Then you really gonna have a threat. Then you don't feel like, we gotta keep Ezekiel in here because he's got to run the ball on this series. Now you really got a serious threat, dog. Put him in that passing game. Let him get some real passes, bro. I'm telling y'all. If it happens, you'll see. That's all I'm gonna say. If they do it, you're gonna see.
Man, Big, listen, you're preaching to the choir. I've been saying this, and if they need help doing this, the only thing they got to do is go back and look at the Giants versus Green Bay and see how they put Saquon Barkley in the passing game, got him one-on-one, and he went ham with a humongous play. That's all they got to do. Put him in a slot even. Doesn't matter. And let him run a hitch. Let him run a stop and go, a drag route, whatever the case may be. Throw him the ball with some slow or third corner or some linebacker got to try to chase him across the field, and he's going to turn up just like Saquon Barkley did, man. I've been saying that for ages, man. I hope they do it, but, man, I hate to say this. It's unlikely. But I hope they do it.
Yeah, and I'm very frustrated at Kellen Moore. I'm very frustrated because he is not creative at all when it comes down to his usage of Zeke and Pollard. I'm telling y'all, it's sad, in my opinion, to literally watch Philly more creative with Dallas Goedert than we are with these super athletes, bro. Like, it's not one game that you not go watch and that you not go see creative ways to get Dallas Goedert the ball in space. So you telling me this slow tight end, they able to create ways for him to get the ball in space and get yards after catch, and they not even throwing the ball at all to Tony Pollard and Zeke. And see, this is the thing I'm gonna say, Big. And I feel you on your vision. I feel you. I would even want them to crawl before they walk, dog. Can you at least throw them a dump off? Right? Like, you feel me? Like,
Throw him a wheel, man.
throw him a wheel. Even before a wheel route. I'm just talking about simple ways to get your guys the ball in space. You know what I'm saying? Just like not even like sending them vertical. I'm not even asking you to do that. Leak it out to them. Run screens more, except with your receivers. Run it with the guys who put physical pain on those edges, which is Zeke and Pollard.
Yeah, but when we played them last time, man, at home, of course, it wasn't on the road. The game that you was talking about when they had all of their starters and we had all of our starters, the final score was 41-21. We rushed the ball on them. We ran the ball collectively 41 times. 41 times.
Yeah, exactly.
And we beat them 41-21.
41-21.
41.
We finna
We
do it
dominated
again.
them because they were saying that the Cowboys are not physical. They don't
Yeah.
bring in a lot of physicality.
We finna
And
do it
at the
again.
time, they were the number one defense against the run. And I'll never forget, we ran all over them.
All
Ezekiel,
over them.
Elijah Elliott
Yup.
baptized them. And that's just what it is in the mixes with, of course, Tony Pollard. So I think we go back to that same game plan and we run it on.
Coach Marv
30-30
said this.
club.
Coach Marv
30-30.
said Bell is the way to use Tony Pollard. So this is what he's talking about. Okay, OC, I'm gonna go ahead and play the film session. I'm gonna play your cue, and then we go tackle this together. All right.
The OC.
The film breakdown.
So we're gonna talk about this Bell concept that Coach Marv just brought up. So when you look at Bell, this is a basic leak out play. This is where Ben is gonna fake the throw to the left, but it's designed to go to Bell to the right. That simple dump off created that much space. What's your thoughts on it, OC?
Yeah, man. I mean, so this is just a slight misdirection, man, and just really a quick. It's like a wheel route, man, just up the field a few yards. And I mean, it's just predicated upon the motion of the receivers and the movement of the offensive line. If you notice when the ball is snapped, man, I mean, it's a base protection, and he leaks out to the weak side of the defense, and he's wide open because these guys are playing off as well. And so it's just very, very easy for him to get upfield and do what he does, man. So, yeah, I mean, they were very creative and smart with how they use him. Now they'll leak him from the interior and kind of run him inside of the tackle, right? They'll run him opposite, right, in between the tackle and the guard, right? So now he's confusing the cover, right, based on responsibility, and now he can run. But notice this works very, very well against zone coverages when the defense is playing off, all right? And so now you put him one-on-one with a linebacker, and this is a mismatch. And it's the same thing, right? He's just running an out route. That's all he did.
Yep.
And so now in this particular play, he ran a vertical route, right? And so, you know, look at that versus a linebacker. It's no competition. So really, in my opinion, if you do this with Zeke or Pollard, you're going to get similar results because Zeke is still faster than most people give him credit for, and we know how explosive Tony Pollard is. And so if you look at this, who was that? Sean Lee?
Sean Lee.
Yeah, that's Sean Lee. No way. It's no way, man. I mean, you got 4-4 versus 4-7. It just ain't gonna work. This thing ain't gonna work, man.
And the problem with this play, real quick, just to get back to the field session, this is what you see a lot of times with Kellen Moore.
Shame.
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 Get back to the film session. When we talking about these concepts that Coach Marv is talking about, the problem with dump offs and the way that Kelly used dump offs is when you don't design them right, you give the defense time to rally. Right.
Yep.
So if you indecisive or slow in your delivery, it hurts the space and the yak opportunity. So this is an example to where and this is all I'm asking for. Just dump it off
Right
to
now,
him. Right there.
right now.
Because now they rally.
Right now.
That ball is late. It's no space to work. So is the key to this type of delivery with Zeke and Pollard is a quick delivery, which allows them to work. So on the next play, OC, you got it.
Yeah, no, man. I mean, in the sense of really the West Coast offense, man, remember back in the day with Tom Rathman and Roger Craig, they always worked the back out of the backfield just like this, just like what you see, right? It's a West Coast concept to work the back and give him the ball underneath and let him make people miss just like that, get upfield, get first downs, and create havoc on that defense. And now you got to sit because you got to account for that back versus just worried about double receivers and dropping into zone. So you can't do that. So now you got him in a slot. And this is what I'm talking about in particular right here. And that just was a stop route. That was easy, right?
Yes.
But imagine if you run that back, and if you can, don't worry about it. But imagine if that was okay. So imagine this being a drag route. Imagine that.
Oh,
imagine that. Imagine that being a drag route.
Yeah. Right.
And you hit him right before he hit that hash, that first hash.
Right.
Now he can do something with it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I mean, man. You got to kind of be smart and savvy in terms of how you do some of these things. But hopefully, man, eventually one day, one game, we'll get there.
Now watch
All right,
this.
so
this is a. Oh, go ahead.
I just want to ask a question before you play that right quick.
All right.
Can I ask y'all something? Do y'all think that, like, when we do those little quick screens, just like what OC was saying, and just like what you were saying, boss, don't they look telegraphed? Like, I know that play when they're about to do it.
Oh man.
Like,
we know.
I know, like, as soon as that play is coming, I know who you're gonna throw the ball to. So if I know it back up here, how the hell did these defensive coordinators get paid all this damn money and don't know what you're about to do? You see what I'm saying? It needs to be more disguised, because it's like when he does the screen game, he makes it so obvious that we're gonna show a screen. It's like the defense rotates to it, says screen, coming. It's like they know it's coming.
And he still does it
disguised. And he still
does it on
like,
the short side of the field, on the boundary side. He don't even do it on the field side. Yeah, so it's crazy.
It's like it's the short side of the field, so you already know they're going to that side. He doesn't even diagnose it, and they always blow that play up. And it's like you don't even call out of the play. It's like the defense just rotated. You know they're about to blow up the play, and they still call it.
My boy DMV in the building. DMV, let's do a show on Friday
up,
with
DMV?
the Philly dudes. DMV, that's the big homie. What's up, big dog? But yeah,
What up,
man,
DMV?
going back to the film study real quick. And now, hold on, let me go back to what you said, Big. A lot of people. Now, let me go back to the film. Now, let me say what I got to say. A lot of people not honestly putting enough weight on Kellen Moore and his lack of creativity. I'm just being honest, bro. This is not about being a Debbie Downer. I'm just looking around the league and I'm seeing people use their athletes better than we do. All you got to do is go just Google this. How many pass attempts did Zeke and Pollard get together these past 5 games? Kellen Moore is being super one-dimensional, and I'm gonna show y'all this tomorrow. He doing it very flagrant against Stephen Jones, and he doing it against Mike McCarthy, because Mike McCarthy, I'm gonna wait till tomorrow. I ain't gonna show it today. Let me get back to the film. But see, this is the thing I like about this. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry, Rossi.
No, you go ahead, brother. You go ahead.
See, watch this chip leak, the design. He go chip and leak, which disguises that he getting ready to leak out. He go chip, leak out by design. You see what I'm saying? So it's
and he gets lost.
Huh?
He gets lost in the coverage because now Sean Lee is looking, looking over where really he should keep his eye on Bell, right? So what you see, Sean Lee actually makes an error because if Ben throws him this ball, he's off to the races. If Ben throws the ball right now, if Ben would have threw him the ball right there, he would have been off to the races.
Yeah,
and then you got Sean Lee in trail position.
Yeah. So it's so many different ways to disguise it. Like, if you want to leak them out, you don't have to just leak them out directly. You can disguise it, right, with a chip and then leak them out right there by design and look at all that space. You don't see Kellen doing nothing like that, bruh, ever. You know what I'm saying? And we talking about Zeke and Pollard in space. What you think they gonna do with that? bro.
And it was a perfect design too because it was all goes. And Kellen loved to run all goes, and he liked to run that all goes and that hitch route or that stop route to the tight end and the slot. So just run him all the way off, chip him out, give it to your back, because really what it is now is a glorified screen pass without you leaking out your offensive line. It's a
Right.
glorified screen pass. That's all it really is if you're really breaking it down. And then he could sprint up the sideline. So difference.
Yeah. And Pittsburgh been doing this all day, and they like to do it as soon as they see an athlete on any stiff. So check this out. Look at this one. Now he made the wrong throw.
That was a good play there, boy.
Yeah,
was it Lee?
Yeah,
Was that Lee on that last play?
No, that was Wilcox. Now watch this.
Wilcox?
Yeah. So
Okay.
Bell is in the slot.
This 2016, right?
Yeah, this 2016. Now, what if now just use your imagination and look at if Ben would have dumped it off to Bell right here. What would have happened? Instead of going at AB. Watch this. Just look at the amount of space he has. Man, and what if you give Pollard the ball right there?
Yep. Ooh,
Pollard gone.
Not catching him.
And this is another example of an athlete on a stiff. And this is what we talking about. Look, oh my God. Look at that space. And this is plays to create space for your running backs. Bro, and listen, and this is just one concept. I can show you 2 and 3 and 4 games to where other concepts could work just as well. Like screen concepts. Man, I ain't gonna get into it right now. We'll just take a pause. We'll take a pause on that. Yeah, but because that's a lot. I don't want to put it all out right now. It's just too much. I got too much on that. I'll wait till tomorrow on that. But anyway, that's been my frustration with Kellen Moore. And I know our offense, if our offense can feed Zeke and Pollard the right ways, not just stubbornly running the ball down the middle, bro. Yeah, so real quick, I want to talk about one more thing before I final word. That I'm glad we finally starting to get some league momentum on this. And I want to get y'all thoughts on this. Michael Parsons.
I think he should hush.
Oh, okay. Talk about it. That's a shot. Talk
I
about it,
I think that we've seen this storyline before. D-Law, and I'm not saying Parsons and D-Law are the same person, but D-Law came back-to-back season with double-digit sacks, and then on the third season he was like, "Hey, they're not calling holding. It's been 10 games and they haven't called a holding," because he would start speaking out. I think that we should empower the fans to talk about this. I think that it's creating a target on Parsons' back. And I know the line, he's a young bull. I know he looks at football differently from me, and us. But at this point, I don't want him to continue to stir the pot, because on his Twitter handle, he's talking a lot about this and that, and it's going into this, even though he's right, even though he's right about what he's saying, but it creates this we know how it is. Who you think you are? Who you think you are? Human error. You know what I'm saying? Aficionados, they got human error, and we know that their palms are greased. We seen the whole situation with the NBA, with the guy that was side betting, what have you. I get all of that. If you guys don't think that that's happening now, I got Land on the Moon for sale. I just really think that my guy, Michael Parsons, let us do the chirping. And if he's going to chat like that, do it on the off season. But for right now, it's a political football. They're calling all types of roughing the passer now due to the Tua head injury. And they try to right their wrongs by over officiating. Sunday night football, there will be a lot of eyeballs. We'll be the only team playing, just like the Thanksgiving game. And it was a similar situation. Parsons tackled a Carr for a sack, and then they said roughing the passer. He barely grazed the man. It's going to be like that on Parsons. They would turn him into an enemy. So that's all I'm saying. But y'all go ahead.
My quick thoughts on it is this. I'm gonna kind of flow off Law what he's saying, as far as making a target on your back. I think what you should do, like me, I mean, if you're an athlete, I think you should talk on the field with the rest before the game. I don't know if he's doing that. I think you should just get good friends with the rest before the game. Hey, just keep an eye on this guy right here. I'm not saying this, ref, but just keep an eye on him. He might be holding, just keep an eye on this right here. I'll say get in good with the rest because, I mean, we've all played the game, right? When you talk to those refs in a good way in the very beginning of the game and get good friendly with them, that's when you tend to get calls. But like you said, Law, when you start saying it outside of football, they read this stuff too. They look at this stuff too. And I feel like you said, they're like, oh, okay, well, now everybody's looking at us like we ain't doing our job. So now they might just be a little more flagrant with it. So I just say keep it like I say, do it on the field. Talk to the refs before the game and say, kind of look at this. Don't do it in social media because social media to me kind of just messes up things, especially with the tick that Micah Parsons has on social media. Everybody listens to what he's saying.
Oh yeah.
And it's similar to Cam Newton. I remember, he was good. He was good, even though he got hit after plays. But remember when Cam Newton made that statement, and then I was like, man, come on, Cam. No, don't say that. And then he definitely didn't get a call since then. But go ahead, y'all. Go ahead.
Yeah, man, I think that it is something to say and to be careful about because you want the media to be your friend and not your enemy. And we saw this really work against Terrell Owens, especially near the end of his career, with some of the statements and things that he made. So I think that, Micah Parsons, he is right theoretically, but also ball is ball. People get held every play, and it's not holding unless you really get called or they call it. And so at the end of the day, man, just lay low, my brother. You still making a name for yourself. We can see that you got great upside, but you got to prove out your greatness a little bit more with a few more years, man, before you start making comments like that.
I'm going to push back just a little bit, because I actually agree with everything that y'all saying. I do think he should talk, and I want y'all to give me feedback on what I'm getting ready to say. But I think he should talk better, right? I don't think it's what you say, it's how you say it. And when you the face of the league like him, you can't say stuff like the NFL is terrible. We know what you mean, but you can't say it like that. I think it would be better, and if he was playing it like a chess player, you want to talk like a victim. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Make people feel sorry for you. You be like, man, I be working so hard, giving all I can, and I just wish I could get some of the calls. One day these guys go see it. One day these guys go see it. Like like make yourself a victim. Like you know.
Yep.
I'm just trying,
right, boss.
And I'm trying my best to represent the league. And these guys are not seeing it, but it's a hard job. I know they go get it right one day. So you talking about it, but you not what my boy West Coast would say, Kanye Westing it. You know what I mean? You just throw up on everybody. Like you the face of the league, dog. You gotta, and the real homie go tell you, like, bro. So what's y'all thoughts on that? I want to get y'all thoughts on that.
Yeah. When I was in management, before I got on with the government, we used to have a program called Build, Break, Build, meaning that when you have your employees as under you, you don't want to tell them, hey, man, you're a terrible worker, you never on time, but you want to highlight what they did good and then break down what they did bad in the middle, and then tell them, hey, you are valuable to us. We had a lady by the name, I ain't gonna say her real name, but we call her Prego. We call her Prego because every year she would get pregnant. She would get pregnant every year, and when it was time for us to do the corrective actions, y'all know about PIP, performance improvement plan or what have you. I couldn't go in there and be like, hey, every year, but I had to go in there. Hey, I'm just going to use a made up name. Hey, Kamika, wonderful time. I really appreciate you. You're always doing the great job of staying late after work and making sure you're doing this and that. However, your production level on this end of how you handle that particular client, you need to work on this. But I really appreciate you being the first person here it's that build, break, build philosophy. And that's what I believe that Parsons need to adapt. Somebody from a managerial or from upper management need to say, hey, Parsons, you the face of the NFL. Kids look up to you. They don't want to hear somebody talking about this and that and saying the NFL is terrible when you are taking their checks and their money and possible sponsorship situations. So let's go over build, break, build philosophy. And a famous philosopher once told me this, or once said this. I would rather have them inside the tent pissing out than outside the tent pissing in. Y'all write that down.
Love it, Law. Big.
What's up?
Yeah, I was saying if you had some thoughts on what I was saying.
No, I agree. I agree with you totally.
Okay,
What you were
disagree
saying.
with it?
I agree with it. Just what you're saying. Make it feel good. Make you sound like a victim. I agree. I don't really got nothing to say about it.
Cool. Because I was thinking y'all was gonna push back a little bit because I agree with y'all. Like you putting heat on us, dog. Like on the cool. What's your thoughts on that, OC?
Yeah, no, man,
know,
it's simple, man. I mean, build, break, build. We used to call it a correction sandwich, right? So I think that it's a way to comment in such a way that you bring attention to it without seeming like, for lack of a better term, that you're like an upset child. And I just think that it just makes you look more mature and you go come across better. That's it.
Yeah, and I think somebody go talk to him. He got the best PR people in the world around him. Somebody go talk to him. And he also young. He learning how the game go. He learning how the game go. And these guys, they raw. And I understand that. Because you getting cheated, dog. Yeah. How can you be as good as we are at pass rush and don't get calls? It's not even just him.
Right, it's not him. Chris Jones last night, man. God dog. You saw that play?
Yes.
God dog, Chris Jones sacked that dude. He had the ball in his hand.
Yeah, but this is the good thing also about, even though he did Kanye West this, and I like what DMV said. DMV said, less Kanye West, more Drake. But this is the good thing. When you are the face of the league like Michael Parsons, guess what? They say that they having a meeting about it. Because he did stir up some waves. 106,000?
Whew.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. So even though it was sloppy, the NFL was like, we listening.
We'll look at it.
We gonna take a look at it. So
Look at it.
just clean it up, Michael. Just clean it up. It's not that you said it, just say it better, because you so talented that you go end up being like MJ, to where they would change rules for you. That's how talented you are, Michael. You know what I'm saying? Like, you so talented that they want to make sure that the face of the league is taken care of. That's why they give Brady all them calls. Final words.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, I'll go first, man. I think that the Cowboys have a great opportunity to really establish themselves as the crown jewel of the NFC, not just the NFC East, the NFC, by taking care of business in this game. I think that the formula remains the same. Be very responsible with the football, Cooper Rush. And Kellen Moore, don't put him in bad situations. Work to play action pass. We do need to be more creative in the screen game and with the toss sweeps and counter traps, in my opinion. If you run dive action, we'll get some yards, but it's going to be very hard to truly control the game and convert first downs only running like that. All right, I think the defense will get after Jalen Hurts. I think that you do want to keep in mind these guys are still a good group up front. And as long as we keep that run game in check, and we try to keep Jalen Hurts bottled up, man, we'll be in good shape, man. The Cowboys should win this one going away. That's my final word.
Yeah, my final word is I feel like I see some traps trying to form on the Dallas Cowboys. I think the Dallas Cowboys are at their best when we the underdog. I'm starting to see the whole message starting to change, right? To where they now starting to try to give us credit. I'm going to be honest. I like us being disrespected. I like us as the hunter, not the hunted. Because everywhere we go, we've been to hunted just because people hate us and the star that these guys wear on their helmet. Now they starting to say this team's so good. When Dak come back, he's supposed to go to a Super Bowl. So now they starting to put that bar way up there, and they putting a target on us. So I will say this as my final word, man. Stay hungry, Dallas. Yes, you have been disrespected all season. Yes, they treated you like you wasn't the fourth seed last year. Yes, they treated you like you fell off a cliff. Stay pissed, Dallas. Stay pissed. Stay real pissed. Just like Mike McCarthy said perfectly, we ain't nobody's underdog. Even when we beat Philly Sunday, because I really think we go beat Philly. I'm not saying at first. Y'all want me to be honest? I was thinking Philly was gonna handle us, but then I start looking at a lot more tape, and I was like, because I don't trust Kellen Moore. But the more and more I looked at it, I said even Kellen Moore's stubborn play calling could work. Just keeping it real. That stubborn dive, zone right, zone left can work. So I feel good as a final word, but I want us to keep that underdog mentality because they getting ready to try to switch it. The moment we beat Philly, they gonna start trying to talk, oh, they a Super Bowl team, and they go switch the craftiness of what my boy landlord would say, nefarious.
Nefarious.
Yeah, they go get more nefarious. They go try to hype us up for us to crash. Nah, I ain't falling for it. That's my final word.
All right, my final word is this, man. They need to play Public Enemy. Don't believe the hype. I think the biggest thing, if we're talking about Mike McCarthy, what he needs to be saying to the team, bouncing off what you said, boss, is that we ain't won nothing. Remember what we did last year? That's what the coach needs to be saying to this team. Remember what happened last year? We ain't did nothing. We choked there. We ain't won nothing in 26 years. So there's no reason why we should come here thinking we've done anything. That would resonate with me as a player.
Yeah.
If my coach was telling me we ain't won nothing, so don't walk out there. Remember what happened last year? Is that what y'all want to happen this year? Believe in all the press clippings and what would happen? We fell on our face.
Right.
That's what needs to be keeping preached in that locker room because Dallas ain't did nothing. So there's no reason for them to think they've thought them anything, no media, no nothing, because they ain't done nothing. But just on this matchup with Philly, 30-30 club, baby. I like to see them 30 rushes, them 30 passes. I know what you've been saying, boss, about the Kellen Moore being stubborn with the dives up the middle, and I get it and I understand it. But I will say, at least he stayed with that run. We had 34 rushes in that game against the Rams, 16 passes. The last 3 games, I think they're averaging around 30 rushes a game. And that's what we want, 30 rushes, 30 passes, and Cooper Rush is going to have to make a few plays in that game. He's going to have to make some critical plays, and I think it's going to have to be on third down. I think there's going to be some third downs where Cooper Rush is going to have to make some big throws to get us downfield. So let's not put him in bad spots. I think the defense is going to do well. But like OC was saying, we really need to bottle up Jalen Hurts in that run game. I'm not really so concerned about the running backs as I am Jalen Hurts running the ball. If we can bottle him up and really control him in running the game, I really like our chances. That's my final word.
Man, brilliant, man. I like the 30 for 30 club. I like that. I'm going to take that one from you, Big Gang. And also,
me too. I'm gonna steal it.
I'm a patent it.
I steal everything.
I'm a patent
it. That's all I do. I steal. I steal everything. Everything you do, I 30 for 30.
Yes, indeed.
30-30.
The Cowboys 13-0 now when we score first under the Mike McCarthy administrations. We are also 14-0 when the Cowboys decide to rush the ball for 25 or more attempts. So those are favorable numbers. I'm not saying that just because you hit those numbers that we win, but it is a chance and a possibility if we do those things, we will win. The Eagles that we will face, yes, they looking as if though they are validated, but validation is only good for parking. I tell you that you got to lace it up. You got to play 60 minutes, not 30 minutes. It seems as if though the Eagles played 30 minutes out there, not 60. So we're going to bring the full table. And if anything, if you look at what Mike McCarthy does, I hear a lot of people not giving credit to Mike McCarthy. Back in 2011, my guy Jay Form, he reached out to me and said that Mike McCarthy went 15-1 with 17 people on IR or injured.
Wow.
That's a testament to his coaching ability to be able to uplift his locker room and making sure that, hey, there's no big eyes, no little U's. So I like what the Cowboys are doing this season. They're 4-1. They are not looking at this thing saying that they are the underdogs, although Vegas got them as the underdog. But what stand tall to me is that Mike McCarthy, he spoke to his team and said, hey, we are nobody's underdog. Don't y'all know what that do to the possibilities of these players to believe? Man, I know about I believe. I'm seeing what Deion Prime Time Sanders, coach, is doing for my Jackson State, my alum. He said, I believe. And when you believe, a lot of things can shake loose, baby. Y'all check out my JSU Tigers over there. But that's my final word. Man, I appreciate all of y'all. Thank those who donated. Thank those who shared. Be sure to hit this like button, share this content on all of our pages. Let's continue to grind and grow for the best nighttime show. The final word, baby. Let's go.
The final word. Let's go. All right, man. Y'all really do go hit them likes on all our channels too, man, and share too, bro, and subscribe. Do all of that. For real.
.com been listening because they played my favorite drop.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Y'all know it.
Hey, shout out to the #1 independent Dallas Cowboy content creator in the world, Mr. Law Nation.
I appreciate you, bro.
Shout out to the #1 offensive line breakdown dude in the world, the OC. Shout out to the realest dude in the game just because he just too real. Big game. And shout out to me because I'm just awesome, period.
Shout out, no. Let me give you the shout out, boss. Shout out to my dog, Boss Cowboys, because he's the boss of this thing, man. He's the boss on the track, he's the boss on the 1-2, and he's running this show like a boss. Shout out to you, Boss Cowboys.
Man, I appreciate that, big dog. And let's go beat Philly, and we gon' kill the final words next week. I'm so glad y'all back. I'm so glad to see everybody back, all y'all back, all the numbers up. And don't go nowhere when times get hard again. Don't leave again. You gotta be thick and thin in this.
Hey. I'm taking applications, baby. I'm president, founder, and operational owner of the Kool-Aid Steering Committee.
Wait.
Come on aboard, y'all.
Hold up.